We're down here in Willacoochee at Pine Needle Farms with Mr. Jerome Crosby. Mr. Jerome, obviously Hurricane Helene hit y'all pretty hard, riding through your farm. Catastrophic loss of timber. A lot of your blueberries are blown over. Tell us a little bit about how it's impacted your farm and your production here.
Well, from the timber perspective, it's a lifetime. The timber industry, that component of the world we live in, is devastated. This is along the lines of maybe a Hurricane Hugo in South Carolina in the 90s, if people remember that. We are blueberry farmers, and if you pan and look at these bushes, you can see the yellowness. What you can't see is probably half of the foliage is gone. So the fertilizer that we were able to put into the bushes and store in the leaves is now washed away into the branches, blown off of them. It's over $1,000 an acre just to put pine bark around the roots of the trees, and a lot of these fields are, they would have to be rebarked. You can't get insurance for that, and it takes time. Our pumping systems, we don't have a single well shelter on this farm that is either not damaged or missing. We don't even know where it's at. It's blown away. And each shelter for each field is $15,000, $20,000 worth of shelter, pumping, computers that's just obliterated. So and it'll be a domino effect. It'll be months before we see, the end result of that. Historically, we would have a storm and have 4 or 5 trees maybe on the line. My son, it took him 8 or 9 hours on an excavator, a whole day, just to clear the road. Over 100 trees. The line is broken in so many places they can't splice the cables. The cables are shredded, so you're literally talking about a rebuild for 4 or 5 miles of power lines. And that's just us. It's that way throughout the span of this storm and the length of this storm. It's devastating. It is a rebuild of the power line infrastructure. Some areas, we are a blueberry operation that's integrated, so not only do we pack fresh blueberries, we also freeze blueberries. And frozen blueberries have to be maintained year-round, just like the freezer in your house. Our freezer in Alma holds about 10 million pounds of fruit, blueberries and other products. We have generators to support the freezer itself, but there's a limited time that you can maintain that, and we're burning through about 1,500 gallons of diesel a day just to maintain the freezer. If we lose that product, then that product belongs to a lot of farmers. If we can't get it delivered and sold, if it spoils, then farmers could lose part of last year's frozen crop that's entrusted to us. So it's a desperate situation to make sure we get the power back on the facilities like that.
I don't know, how many we were able to help. My only regret is that, it wasn't enough, and it's been really, I think, one of those lifetime lessons and experiences that I never want to see again. I never want to see it again. We can replant. We can fix our houses. I hate to be I try to be as self-sufficient as I possibly can. I don't want to be a dependent. I don't want to be a strain on anybody else. But there's some people out there that assistance is needed. They're not going to get it from anywhere or anybody unless the government steps in. They're desperate. The few gas stations that are open that's being run on generator power, the lines in Willacoochee they're over a mile long, and people are sitting in line for hours